Hey, what's up, you guys? This is Kevin with G.F.E, God, Family, and Everything Else podcast. And today I have a pretty good one to share with you. I actually came across this video actually yesterday. And as you all know, the NFL season has already started. The preseason was great, but it gets a little boring because you're kind of tired of seeing all the rookies or the people that are trying to make the team. You just want to see the starters out there and go out there and perform. And then whatever team you support, you just can't wait to see them start off the season running, going hard, going fast. And my team is the Denver Broncos, and they didn't start off so well, but that's all right. They're 0-1. Their next game is against the Redskins, and then let's see how this goes. Hopefully they don't go 0-2. And I made a post saying if they start off 0-2, I'm going to slap someone. But seriously, I hope they don't start off slow, and I hope they make a good push in the playoffs this year, if they make it this year. But this video is not about that. This is about a little bit about football, and then a little about what we tend to do. But the video that I came across was a current player, and he plays for the New Orleans Saints, and I believe he was ranked number 43 out of the top 100 greatest players for this year or this season or last season. I can't remember. But his name is Demario Davis. And the great thing that I came across on this video is that Demario Davis gave a short sermon post-game. You don't really see players do that. Players usually talk about the sport or football, or their performance, on how they're getting ready for the next team that they play. And, they just take questions from the media, and then they move on. With him, he understood that playing on a Sunday is the Lord's day. And then he had taken his time with the media to share a message, one about his daughter, and then also about God and how we need to trust God, and then how God continues to knock on our heart. But I didn't want to go ahead and speak for him. I wanted to go ahead and actually share this video, but it's not a video, it's more of an audio, just so you can hear, because I'm not too sure if I can do the video, if there'll be a copyright. But it's an audio of him from the very beginning to the end about how he is sharing with the media and the world, whoever's watching, about how God is more important than football, and then there's family, and then everything else after that, and then how we should always trust God no matter what. So go ahead and check that out, and I'll see you guys in a minute.
Am I good to go?
Yes, sir.
Oh man, I got a lot to say, so y'all buckle up. I started to realize something. We play this game on Sundays, and it's really the Lord's day. And the day we should be worshiping the Lord, a lot of times players are getting worshiped, and we get to go on this ball field. So since so many of us didn't get to go to church today, I have a word that I want to share. I know this is a little untraditional, so like I said, buckle up. Revelations 3:20 says, "See, I stand at the door and knock. If anyone hears my voice and opens the door, I will come in and dine with him and eat with him and he with me." I want to tell y'all about a knock that I heard this week. A lot of people don't know this, but on Friday, my daughter, she's 4 years old, she had her third epilepsy seizure attack. It's my same daughter who survived retinoblastoma. She's been totally cleared of that, but she had her third seizure. And it's been almost 2 years. She was about a month away. If she would have had no seizures for one more month, then she would have been off the medicine, but now we have to start that clock all the way over. It was on Friday when a bunch of kids were over at the house, and she was playing, and I noticed something was off. And I told her mom I thought she was having a seizure. Her mom is pretty good. She saw it, my wife, and we took her in her room, didn't want to cause a scene. And she started to foam at the mouth, and it was her worst seizure. For 30 minutes, she seized. She wouldn't come, and we had to call the paramedics. They came, and so over the course of time, it ended up being a total of 30 minutes. They got her in. My wife got in the paramedics with her. I got behind them driving. You can imagine all the thoughts that's racing through your mind. The last sight you see of your daughter is she's totally out of it. Got to the hospital, and my wife told me that my daughter stopped breathing in the car twice. So I'm, of course, praying. We get to the hospital. They give her a bunch of medicine. She sees her stop. She's laying there. And at this point, if she sees for 30 minutes, you start to fear there could be development issues that could mess with her brain. She stopped breathing. If there was no oxygen going to her brain, you're starting to think about her speech be slurred or anything, or worse. So we prayed, and she had medicine, and my wife and I had to stay overnight at the hospital. And in the middle of the night, probably about 3 o'clock, I heard a knock. And the knock was my daughter. I prayed for her. I said, God, let this just be an attack from the enemy that's just trying to be a distraction, and let him have overplayed his hand, and my daughter come back stronger than before. When I heard my daughter talk in the middle of the night, and my daughter, she doesn't have any development issues, praise God. She doesn't have any slurred speech, prior to this. She woke up talking clearer than she was talking before. Now, anyone who deals with epilepsy knows that it takes a few days for them to come back. They usually can get back to normal wherever they were, but it takes a couple of days. They're groggy. It's a lot because what their body is like, it's like the TV just staticking in their brain. She was talking clearer than before, and it was 3 o'clock, and we heard her talk, and we let her talk for about 20 minutes, and said, hey, baby, it's nighttime. Let's go back to sleep. And I just prayed. I started saying, praise God, praise God. The next morning, when she got up, my daughter was so sharp. She was able to talk to me and her mom. I mean, clear conversation. She's sharp for a 4-year-old. No stuttering. All her words clear. And my daughter, like I said, my daughter is already sharp. She was sharper than before. And if any of you were able to have a conversation with my daughter, you wouldn't know anything had ever happened. So we had a birthday party for my 7-year-old daughter that day. She got to be released from the hospital, and she came back home, and it was as if nothing was happening. She was playing with the kids the day before, and she had the worst seizure that she had ever had. And the next day, she's back out there playing with the kids. Now, of course, we can't let her get overstimulated. We have to keep bringing her in, have to keep cooling her down, can't let her do too much just because of protocol. But when I tell you, I got a chance to hear a knock from God. And what I want to share is we get to play this game, and it's great. And there's so many amazing things that happen in that game, and everybody wants to hear about them. But when we leave this game, we go back to being regular people. And regular people are living life, and people are waiting for a knock. And the word says who Jesus is, he's knocking at the door. All you got to do is get up. And so on the way, man, I'm nervous, but I'm praying, and I'm trusting, and I'm believing. And I'm asking for my daughter to make it through. I'm asking that she's better than before. And God gave me just what I asked for plus some. I was blown away. And at that point, I knew, the game is going to take care of itself. My knock had already been answered. And I just want people to know, like, if you got stuff going on in your life, lay it before the Lord. Lay it before the Lord and trust. And be expecting of a knock. Because the word says what you have to do is you have to get up and open the door. He's not going to open the door for you. He's going to knock. But you have to be listening and waiting for the knock. And when you see it, you have to get up and open the door. And your blessing is going to be there. Now, I'm going to be here to talk about football next week. I wish y'all well. Happy Sunday, and praise God. Thank y'all.
So I thought that was really cool, and it was really inspiring to see that he understood that, yes, we all want to honor God on Sunday, but we should honor God every single day of our life. But what was really touching was, one, he was talking about his daughter, and then the crazy episode that his daughter went through, and it's just amazing how God, intervened and then just completely healed his daughter, what she was going through, and then had given him the knowledge and the strength to continue relying and leaning on God through that ordeal. I can't even imagine as a father seeing any of my boys going through such a situation like that. That's a big fear, is just seeing anything or worrying about anything so severe to happen to your children. But children are a gift from the Lord, so no matter what the situation, always be thankful and then always continue praying that they'll be healthy. But what I wanted to share with you is that he's a football player, and he understood that. And like I said at the beginning, he understands that Sunday is the Lord's day. We should never forget that no matter what we do, we should honor and glorify God no matter what. If we end up having to work on the day that we usually worship God, honor and glorify God no matter what. And then in 1 Corinthians 10:31, it says, so whether you eat or drink or whatever you do, do everything for the glory of God. that's what he did. He glorified God at the press conference after a game. After a game. He could have clearly just pushed that aside and then decided to just talk football. But he felt compelled, and he felt in his heart, this is an opportunity for me to, one, share the gospel, let people know who God is and how amazing God continues to work in our life. And then be appreciative of being able to play a sport that he loves. Even if we have a job, being appreciative of the job that he has given us, glorifying him in every step of that job. So I wanted to go ahead and just share that with you guys. I want to know what you guys think about it and who you guys think is going to make it to the Super Bowl this year. I'm always pulling for the Broncos, but being realistic, I don't see it happening. But let's just see. But go ahead and hit your comments below. What do you guys think? Also about your football picks. Hit that like, share, subscribe button. Let's go ahead and continue expanding God's kingdom for his glory and honoring him. And I will see you next time. This is G.F.E, God, Family, and Everything Else podcast. Peace.